Okay, so now we're going to install the shelf. You can have this piece here, the shelf struts, and the shelf. Probably 2 shelves, depending on what you got for a greenhouse. Okay, so first things first is figure out what height you want it. Generally, I go about 36 inches high. So what I'll do is I'll come over here to the door, and I'll mark it. I know I said 36, but I'll mark it 34 and a half. Put a black mark there, one in the corner here, one where the 2 units join up. I'll put a mark, 34 and a half. Another one in this corner over here. And one on this first stud here, 34 and a half. Okay. Then I'll take this piece here, and how this one works, there's a hem, so it's not sharp. That'll point towards you. It goes in this corner here. So I've got the 2 flaps. This one here, because it's going in this corner, I'll bend this at a 90. Doesn't have to be perfect. That's good there. This one here, I'm going to bend right over, just so it's flat, like that. And then we're going to install it in the corner here. Put 1 screw in here. And 1 here. There. So there's my mark there, my mark there. And then it's good to have a helper for this part here. So we'll take, if you're putting it on this side here, where you got the short piece, this is the short extension and then the long extension. I usually try and match them up with the shelf. So I'll put the long shelf at this end, short shelf on this end. If we're doing it on that side, it'd be long and then short. But it doesn't really matter. So what I do is I grab this end here, you help hold that end, and then you wear this one like a hat, and then get that into the corner. This is probably about the trickiest part here. Now you're gonna have to go back, Cynthia. There we go. Okay, right there. So I put a screw in there. There's my black mark. And then I put a screw up here. That's my black mark right there. And there. And then on each of these studs, so if you hold that at the black mark, you got it there. And then each one of these studs, a little tricky. If I go in right like this, I don't know if you can see that. Come over to this side, maybe you'll be able to see. Come in from here. You can see that I'm going into this piece here. Underneath. This is probably the most frustrating part of the build. And one there. Okay. And then finally one over here. Now, what I'll do is I'll take one of these struts, put it in there, and there. And so I'll put it a couple inches in. And then what I'll do is I'll have my helper tell me if this is the right height. So if I can push this up or down. If they're outside over there, I can kind of look down and tell me, good there? I mean, if you really want to get it perfect, you could measure it all up and get it exact, but the plants don't really care. Okay, now the last piece. We'll put this one, so you set that end down on that little piece that we put in there. And then this one here, I line them up. Jeez. Right there. And again, go to town with the screws all the way along here. And then you can go into this corner and push it into the corner. And there. And there. Again, we got to get these. There. Now the next trick is going to be this strut here. You can see how these struts go into these hat tracks. They fit in there and they fit into that hat track. But when you've got the joint, you don't have that hat track. So the trick I do, I take and I cut this about there and there, about there and there. So they're about, I don't know, 1.5 inches, 2 inches in on both, and then you just take it. So now you've got it 45, 45. And then I'll put a screw there and there. I put one on either side of this joint for this piece, and do the same thing down here. There, and one there. And then that makes that secure. And then I go along and I put the rest of these pieces in. And then your shelf is done.